Welcome to the deep dive. Today, our mission is to really decode a big challenge in commercial video.
hmm
How do you actually get a perfect 1080p video signal to, say, 9 different screens spread all across the building, without insane signal loss or those super bulky, really expensive HDMI cables?
A classic problem, right? Distance versus digital integrity. And this WolfPack 1x9 HDMI splitter system we're looking at offers a really powerful technical shortcut. The goal here is to understand how it uses network gear you might already have, sort of merging the AV and IT worlds to make these large-scale displays just work.
That idea, merging AV and IT, that feels like the real key we're digging for today. I saw that this system completely ditches HDMI for the long haul. It relies on standard network cables instead, see CAT5e, CAT6. That alone seems like a huge shift in both cost and just, flexibility.
It is a huge shift. HDMI just doesn't travel well. You get maybe 50 feet before you need serious expensive boosters. But standard network cable, it's engineered for long distances.
So how do they actually pull it off? We're talking about distances up to 600 feet total. That's, 300 feet from the source to the switch, and then another 300 feet out to the screen.
Exactly. And that architecture, that central Ethernet switch, is the real secret sauce.
Yeah.
It's all TCP/IP based, so it's using an industry standard IP protocol, nothing proprietary. It also uses techniques like MJPEG, which basically compresses the video. Think of it like a super high-speed stream of photos. But crucially, it's designed to equalize and recover the signal as it comes in before it retransmits it.
So it's actively cleaning up the signal.
Yes, that's what guarantees the quality and supports a pretty robust bandwidth of 2.25 gigabits per second.
Okay, so it sounds incredibly complex under the hood to get that reliability, but the marketing really pushes that this is plug and play. No software, no setup buttons. How does that work?
Well, that simplicity is very deliberate. The whole package is designed so you don't have to think about it. It comes with everything you need for that 1x9 setup. You get the one transmitter, 9 receivers, all the IR cables, and the most important part, a 16-port Ethernet switch.
Ah, the switch. Okay, but I did notice this one technical detail. It uses fixed static IP addresses. The transmitter is always 192.168.168.55, and the receiver is 0.56. In a complex corporate network, doesn't that feel a little risky? You could have conflicts.
That's a great question, and it's actually the key to why it's so simple. That static addressing is precisely why it's zero configuration for the installer. The system is meant to create its own tiny, isolated, and totally reliable video network using that switch they provide. It guarantees it'll just work without ever touching or conflicting with the client's main corporate network.
Okay, that makes sense. You're creating a self-contained ecosystem, and that, I assume, is what unlocks the scalability. You start at 9 screens, but the switch they give you has 16 ports, so you've got 6 empty slots right out of the box.
Exactly. You can add 6 more displays immediately just by buying more of the little receiver boxes. The whole system is architected to grow way beyond that. You could add more switches and support, hundreds of displays.
All right, let's move past just the video distribution, because this is the part that I thought was the real killer feature, the remote IR capability. We're talking about actual control.
Right. You can control the source device, your cable box, your satellite receiver, whatever it is, from any of those 9 TVs, which could be hundreds of feet away.
So how does that signal get back? How does it travel upstream over 300 feet?
It's really elegant. You just point your normal source remote, a little IR cable that you place near the TV. That signal gets captured and sent backward to the exact same CAT network cable all the way back to the source device.
And this works with pretty much anything. PCs, a PS4, Xbox, all those HDCP compliant displays.
Yes, compatibility is very broad across the board.
So when we step back and look at the whole system, the real insight here seems to be how standard, off-the-shelf network hardware is completely redefining AV distribution. Things like distance and multiple outputs, they just sort of become non-issues.
Precisely. This whole setup just leverages the low cost and the incredible reach of standard network cable. At the end of the day, the infrastructure for your video is now fundamentally merging with the infrastructure for your data.
And what really stands out to you then is that you're creating this single scalable IP solution. Every screen just becomes another address on its own private network. It's a completely different way of thinking about video,